No. Come on, where is it?
Dave, it's your Idaho Central app here. Any chance you're missing a debit card? Let's get that taken care of for you. With ICCU's card control, you can turn any card off with the tap of your finger.
You got it.
And back on again. Out, 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 out. The closest Idaho Central Credit Union branch is in your pocket.
Ooh, the gym. My old stomping grounds. Hank Patterson, Fly Fishing Guide.
Riley Smith, tight end.
Yeah, I appreciate that. Hey, you wouldn't happen to be the kicker?
No, tight end.
Again, thank you. I'm looking for a kicker for Lithia Ford's fall kickoff sale. But you're not the kicker.
No.
Yeah, the kicker's probably taller and in a lot better shape. So, okay. What position do you play?
Tight end.
Squats. Yeah, try it sometime.
RowPaint.com, the official paint and coatings company of Boise State Athletics, is going all in this season with an all-star lineup. First up, he led the Broncos to 3 conference championships and 10 20-win seasons. It's Coach Leon Rice. Next, he's the founder and CEO of RowPaint.com. He played a little basketball in high school on the driveway with his mom. It's Andy Rowe.
Oh, no. Want to just paint my house?
Now that I can do. When I want Boise State to win, I trust Coach Rice to lead the Broncos to victory.
And when I want the best painting and garage floor coating, I trust RowPaint.com to get that job done right.
This is Bronco Nation News Live. The best interviews, the most informed opinions, the latest breaking news, all from the top Boise State insiders. Today's broadcast is coming from the Cutwater Spirits Canned Cocktail Studios. Check out one of their more than 30 flavors of pre-mixed premium cocktails at your local gas station or grocery store. Cutwater Canned Cocktails is perfect for your next game day tailgate party. Now, here's 4-time NSMA Idaho Sports Writer of the Year, BJ Rains, with another edition of Bronco Nation News Live.
Hey, how we doing, Boise State fans? Welcome on into a Thursday edition here at Bronco Nation News and BroncoNationNews.com. My name is BJ Rains. Riding solo today, no guest on a Thursday. We got a lot going on. We got Spencer Danielson meeting with the media at 11. Dirk Cutter is going to speak to the media at 11. Eric Chenander is going to speak to the media. And Bronco Nation News is going to attempt to stream it live. So make sure you come back at around 11 a.m. We'll have a live stream going. You guys can hang out in the chat. Dirk Cutter, Spencer Danielson, Eric Chenander, previewing the start of spring practice, which is on Monday. Believe it or not, the first spring practice on Monday. And we'll have it streaming for you live at BroncoNationNews.com on our social media channels, YouTube, Facebook, and X. So I'll come back at 11, and you can hear those guys preview spring ball. Leon Rice also talking to the media about 12:30, so we'll tape that and get that posted as well. So a busy day of interviews today as football gets ready for spring practice, and the basketball team gets ready for San Diego State on a Friday night. Bronco Nation News. Tomorrow is our trip. Our winner, Roy Miller. You heard him on the pregame show the other night. We'll be leaving late morning tomorrow, heading down to San Diego. Going to get a few hours to enjoy the beach. Head out and check out the sights and sounds there on Pacific Beach. Have a nice dinner and be ready to go for the game tomorrow against San Diego State. As Perry points out, San Diego State 14-0 at home this season, so not going to be an easy one tomorrow night. Senior night for the Aztecs as well. But Boise State, I know it's a slight slight chance, but Boise State's still alive to at least share a part of the Mountain West Conference Championship. We're going to take a look at the scenarios today, the standings. Going to be a little bit shorter show than usual. We have a ton going on in terms of needing to record some interviews and things for the pregame show tomorrow. And as I said, get down there and try to set up all the equipment. We haven't done a live stream of a football press conference in a couple of months, so I got to make sure we still remember how to do that. But going to be a fun next couple of days, fun next couple of weeks as we get down to San Diego tomorrow. We'll have the full Lithia Ford to Boise pregame show from Viejas Arena starting at about 7 p.m. The game tips off Mountain Time at 8 p.m. And looking forward to that. Looking forward to our contest winner, Roy Miller, making you all jealous, getting to fly down on the private jet tomorrow and then hang out by the beach and go to the game. So looking forward to that. We're taking Andy Rowe, our title sponsor, with us as well. So looking forward to having Andy Rowe on this trip and thanking him for his support of Bronco Nation News as well. Karen Rains is going, probably the most VIP of the group on the plane tomorrow. So you'll have Karen Rains in attendance tomorrow as well. So looking forward to getting down there and having a good time on this trip with my wife and some friends, and going to be a fun. And then a quick turnaround to Vegas for the conference tournament. The women will play on Sunday. We'll get their bracket up here on the screen in a couple of minutes as well. They had a tough, rough stretch. I think lost 3 in a row to end the regular season. They'll be the number 6 seed in their conference tournament. They'll get a chance to play Utah State, get their feet wet in that first game, and then hopefully play Wyoming in the next game, who they split with this year and match up with pretty well. So looks like it's going to be a fun, as I said, next couple of weeks. Women's tournament starting Sunday. Men's tournament starts Wednesday. Boise State knows they will not play until Thursday, and we'll see kind of what the matchups look like. Jaden Finch, our intern, did a tremendous job with some of the calculations and things, and we'll put that up on the screen as well here as we move forward in terms of what the likely scenarios are, the likely seeding scenarios for Boise State. But for the most part, it's pretty simple. Boise State wins tomorrow. They're going to be the number 3 seed most likely. They lose tomorrow, they're going to be the 4 or 5 seed most likely. And it looks like either way, they're likely going to play San Diego State in the first game. If Boise State wins tomorrow and gets the 3, there's a decent chance that San Diego State would fall to the 6. So they would play in the 6-11 game, and then you'd have to play San Diego State in the 6-3 game. If Boise State loses tomorrow, then they would drop into the 4-5, I believe is the 5, and San Diego State would be the 4. So obviously this is, expecting Utah State to win on Saturday, expecting kind of the favored teams to win all these games. But there's a real likelihood that Boise State's playing San Diego State in back-to-back games. So I think that puts a little interesting side story on the game tomorrow night. Obviously, you want to win. You want to get as many wins. It'd be another quad 1 win. I'm not saying you're trying to, not trying to win the game. And I know the coaches will never do this or say this, but I mean, if you had to say which game was more important to win, tomorrow night or the quarterfinals of the Mountain West tournament, you'd probably take the quarterfinals of the Mountain West tournament. So I think you probably, you're not going to not try to win tomorrow, but if you think you have some secret defense that could stop Jaden Ledee, I mean, do you bust it out tomorrow or do you save it for next Thursday? So I think it's going to be interesting how they approach this game tomorrow, but sellout crowd, Viejas Arena, and believe me, tickets are not cheap because I'm having to buy some for the folks on the trip, and it's a pretty penny to get in to see senior night tomorrow night at Viejas Arena. So going to be an electric atmosphere, going to be a lot of fun. As I said, Roy Miller, our contest winner, excited for him to get to go to San Diego. Excited next year to return it to Vegas. I think San Diego's fun, but I think Vegas is a perfect for this kind of trip. And fortunately, it was the one spot they didn't go this year. And so we'll make sure that next year our trip returns to Vegas. We got 260 of you watching. And speaking of Las Vegas, I want to throw this out there. I have talked to Circa. I have talked to the folks at Stadium Swim. We're doing our party next week, as you all know. I am pleased to announce that if you RSVP'd, if you sent your RSVP to Rains at Bronco Nation News and you RSVP'd ahead of time at this link, you still have time to do it up until like the day or two before the party. But if you RSVP at this link, not only do you get free entry, and we're talking like a $40 cover charge, you get in for free to Stadium Swim for our pool party next Friday in Vegas at the conference tournament. Not only do you get in for free, but you get a free drink as well. They will hand you a free drink ticket when you check in on the RSVP on the VIP list. So BNN is hooking you up with a free drink And so we're very excited about this, that we got this part done. So you get in for free and you get a free drink. I mean, how great is that? So if you don't drink, they'll give you a free water or free soda. If you do drink, you can pick a mixed drink or a beer, a cocktail, some of the slushies they have, all kinds of awesome drinks down there. You can see the bars up there in the front. But we're going to be in the top level to the left, right when you walk out the main entrance of Stadium Swim. We're going to be to the left. They're pretty much giving us our own pool. It's going to be a private pool. You'll see Prater and Johnny right there doing their show from 2 until 4. It says 10 to 5, by the way, but we're ending it at 4. It's going to be 10 to 4. So I recommend coming from like 10, starting earlier in the day. We want to give folks a chance to go home and change, get ready for the games that night. The first game starts at 6. So we are ending the party at 4 o'clock, and Johnny and Prater have a shorter show that day anyway because of a Steelheads game. So 10 to 4, we'll do our show out there. They'll be out there. And again, how amazing is this? You get to come for free to the coolest spot in Las Vegas. Typically costs you $40-$50 to get in. Circa Resort and Casino, Stadium Swim. All the conference tournament games will be on. And you get a free beverage as well, so alcoholic or non-alcoholic. So, again, email me if you want to come, rains@bronconationnews.com. We will have a couple of cabanas reserved. KTIK is going to have a cabana. BNN will have one. We'll have a subscriber cabana where we may have an extra beverage for you and maybe a slider or a chicken finger or something, kind of some small apps, nothing crazy by any means on the food side, but we'll try to take care of our subscribers a little bit. They do have food and drink for purchase, and the food's pretty good there, actually, the burgers and the tacos and all the stuff they have out by the pool. So can't wait. Excited to have you guys there for the pool party. And again, email me, rains@bronconationnews.com, and we are taking care of your first drink. So super excited about that. And hopefully Boise State is playing in the semifinals that night. I mean, obviously a lot of work to be done between now and then, but that's a week from tomorrow is the pool party. Crazy that we've already gotten to this point, that a week from tomorrow is the pool party. So Boise State, I mean, I know fans, I get it. Bronco Ray, some of you on here are nervous. You've seen this before, the end of the season. I just don't think that's this team. Even if they lose tomorrow, I just don't think that's this team. I mean, you look at who they're playing quality teams. They've had some really bad losses late in the season in years past. I get it, but those have been to not very good teams, bad teams. Somebody tried to pull out Colorado State a couple years ago. They were the number 2 seed in the conference tournament. So the Fresno loss one year was a bad one. There's been a couple games you'd like to forget to end the season. They lost to Air Force, I think, at some point. But this is just a different vibe with this team. This team is good. And this team, I think, has shown they can respond to adversity. And even if they lose tomorrow, I think you still have to like your chances with this team going into the tournament. Whether they lose in Vegas, whenever, win it, whatever. I just think this team looks different than some of the previous teams. And I still think if you look at the last couple of weeks, this team is ascending. And I know they lost the other night at home, but one loss doesn't all of a sudden mean that here comes the end of the season slide, as a lot of you guys think are coming. So I think you guys need to just enjoy this, relax, enjoy it. The tournament is a lot of fun. And I don't see any scenario that Boise State is not going dancing to March Madness. So I think that I know you guys get a little tight, a little nervous. Every loss later in the season maybe makes things a little tighter, but I think Boise State has clearly done enough to get into the big dance this year. So I wouldn't worry too much about that if I were you guys. I think could you fall to not a great seed, 10 or 11, if you lose 2 more games here? Probably. But I just think Boise State has done enough to get into the tournament, and I think that you guys should be feeling pretty good about where you guys are at this point in the season. I want to tell you about a couple of our sponsors. Cutwater Spirits, more than 30 flavors of pre-mixed premium cocktails. You can pick one up at your local gas station or grocery store. Perfect to be watching the game tomorrow night. Roy Miller and our crew, Andy Rowe, will be enjoying some Cutwaters and things on the way down tomorrow. Looking forward to that. And thank you to Cutwater Spirits for their support of Bronco Nation News and this trip. I mentioned Andy Rowe, our title sponsor. He'll be right behind the bench cheering for the Broncos tomorrow. ROEpaint.com. They're going to be coming out and actually doing some painting work on our house. They're coming out to give us an estimate today on the price. So love ROEpaint.com. We've already used them 3 times before. This will be number 4, and they do a tremendous job. Check them out. And again, ROEpaint.com. We're talking concrete coatings. We're talking interior, exterior of your home, industrial paint, commercial, residential, you name it. They can help you out. And thanks to our title sponsor, ROEpaint.com. Speaking of big-time sponsors, we appreciate Idaho Central Credit Union, ICCU. Check them out. The best mobile eBranch online banking. They have the card control. You see Tyson Degenhart, the NIL deal there. They can get you on, help you with your car loan, your home loan, all your banking needs. Idaho Central Credit Union. There's a branch pretty much on every corner. And again, check them out at iccu.com. Ridley's Family Markets, they're helping sponsor this trip tomorrow to go down to San Diego. We appreciate Ridley's Family Markets. Shop Ridley's.com, 14 locations across the state of Idaho. You can also use that Skip app, and you can avoid the checkout line. Shop Ridley's.com helps you. And again, with that app, the Shop Ridley's app that you can download, you can get savings up to 40% there at the checkout line. So shopridleys.com. We appreciate them. And I mentioned Matt Bauscher yesterday, Bauscher Real Estate. I mean, Matt Bauscher's got a tremendous team, but he came out himself the other day to take a look at our house and give me some advice on whether or not we should sell, or we're thinking about it. And we're like very early in the process. We're not even sure what we want to do. And I've been super impressed already with Matt Bauscher and his team and what they're doing to help us out. And this is the kind of service they give everybody. He's not just doing this for me because we're a sponsor and a friend. He takes his job very seriously, works very hard, and there's a reason. I can already tell there's a reason why they're the number one ranked realtor in the Treasure Valley. Bauscher Real Estate, check them out, 243-8222, BauscherRealEstate.com. And again, make sure you tell them when you reach out that you heard about them on Bronco Nation News and you want to support the sponsors. Always support the sponsors. We would really appreciate that. We saw a couple of folks that stayed at Circa for some various things in recent weeks. Tag us on social media, post a photo of them at Circa. I sent that directly to the owner of Circa, and he was super appreciative. So we've had a couple folks buy cars from Lithia Ford. Anytime you support the sponsors, even if it's a quick meal at Taco Bell, wherever, if you wouldn't mind posting that on social media, let me send that to the owners and the folks that make the decisions on advertising dollars. It does help, and it shows that their advertising is working. So whether you're a paid subscriber or not, this is a free show that you're watching daily at 9 a.m. Thanks primarily to our advertisers, many of which you see their logos behind us. So if you get a chance to support the sponsors, please do. And then if you can let them know that you're doing it because of BNN, I would really, really appreciate that. We got some of the comments coming in here. Perry says, even if we lose to the Aztecs twice, those are not bad losses. Totally agree. There will be folks. I mean, I almost don't even want to do a post-game show tomorrow night if they lose, because I know it's going to be the same 3 or 4. Oh, here we go. The 2 in a row. The late season slide is on. But again, it's a quad 1 game. You're not supposed to win tomorrow. I'm guessing the Vegas point spread is going to be 5, 6, 7 points in favor of San Diego State. Let me check KenPom real quick. Yeah, KenPom's got it as a 6-point game. So I mean, you're not supposed to win tomorrow. You're underdogs by 6 points. So anyone that comes on the post game show tomorrow, and it's going to be predictable. You know it's coming. But again, when you're a 6-point underdog on the road at Viejas Arena, where the team is 14-0 this season, you're not supposed to win. So anybody that comes on the post game show and rips and says anything about here comes the late season slide, 2 straight losses, blah blah blah, and you guys know it's coming, and some of you are probably in this chat. Bronco Ray, there you go, already ready. I would just say that we know it's coming, but I would think that you're going to be overreacting once again. So you're not supposed to win tomorrow. So I don't know what you're expecting. A huge win would be awesome. It'd be a great upset. It'd be awesome. We could do the post-game show for 2 hours tomorrow night and then hit up Gaslamp District till 3 a.m. I mean, I'm sure it'll be a party for the team if they can pull it off, and they would love to do it. And again, you have to win to stay in the race for the Mountain West title. If Boise State can win tomorrow, and if New Mexico can win in Logan against Utah State, Boise State can get a share of the Mountain West title. It's pretty easy. I mean, it sounds, that's it. But nothing else has to happen. You wouldn't be the number 1 seed, but you would at least have a share of the Mountain West title if you win tomorrow, and if Utah State loses on Saturday against New Mexico, which is certainly possible. So you play all season, you practice all off season, you get to the final 2 days of the regular season, and you're still alive for a conference title. I mean, that's pretty impressive, especially in this league right now. So a lot of different things can happen with the scenarios, a lot of different things in play in terms of the seeding. As I said, it's probably most likely looking like Boise State is going to play against San Diego State. I'm trying to find my great associate reporter intern, Jaden Finch. He's got the scenarios here. I'm going to see if I can put these on the screen. If not, I can at least talk about it. It is a 70% chance based on 10,000 simulations of the Bart Torvik current standings and projections. 70% chance Boise State is going to end up as the number 5 seed, which I believe means 70% chance they're going to lose to San Diego State, because I think that's all that has to happen, and they're the number 5 seed. There's a 27.2% chance that Boise State will be the number 3 seed. 27.2. So about 1 in 4, they're going to be the 3 seed, and there's a 2.8% chance they could still be the 2 seed. So Boise State, if all crazy stuff happens, there's about a 3% chance they could still be the number 2 seed. The number 3 seed is 27.2. And then, as I said, the number 5 seed is 70. It doesn't matter if you're 4 or 5. You just depends who's the home team, wears the white uniforms. But I believe Boise State can't be the 4. They would just be the 5. And I mean, this sounds crazy, but if you think about it, if you're in the 4-5 game against San Diego State, you can make an argument that's your hardest game in the tournament, and that it would get progressively less difficult. I want to say easy, but if you play San Diego State in the quarterfinals, the team that's veteran, tough, been there before, was in the championship game last year. I mean, that's going to be a tough game. They bring a big crowd to Vegas. Quarterfinals. If you win that game, then you go to the semifinals where you'd play Utah State, and again on a neutral floor. I don't think Utah State is significantly better than Boise State. I certainly think Boise State can beat Utah State on a neutral floor in the semifinals. And then you go to the championship game where you'd play New Mexico or Colorado State or UNLV or who's the one I'm missing? Nevada, who you've either beaten or played with. The only team they didn't beat there was UNLV, and that would be tough in the finals. But I think it's almost reverse. I mean, you think about the way it would go. I think it's like the hardest game in the quarterfinals, and then it gets a little bit easier, and then a little bit easier. I mean, the championship game could be the easiest game in the tournament. If you're playing New Mexico, you've already beaten them twice. So UNLV is certainly going to be tough. The possibility of 7 teams in the Mountain West tournament is going to be crazy as well. But I think that, I think 6 is pretty much a given for this, I think 6 is pretty much a given. New Mexico may have to go to Dayton, but I think New Mexico is going to find a way to get in. If not, and New Mexico gets bumped, that's probably because UNLV's making a run and getting in, and if they win the tournament. But I think the Mountain West is going to get at minimum 5, no worse than 5, which is amazing for this conference. But I think they're going to probably get 6. I still feel pretty good about that. So check out Jaden Finch's Twitter account. It's just at JADYNFINCH. I retweeted it as well. Jaden is doing an outstanding job helping us out at Bronco Nation News. And I don't know how he did this. He's much smarter than I am, but he put together these simulations and percentages and things. You can check it out on his Twitter account. And I know he used some of the Bart Torvik data to make it work, but he's doing a great job. And he gets to go to Vegas. Thanks to you guys for your subscriptions and your support. We have the funds to pay for Jaden, kind of reward him a little bit for his work. I'm going to put him to work down there, no doubt about it. But we are taking Jaden with us down to the Mountain West tournament to help out. And I think he deserves it. He's earned it, and he's going to be a huge help down there. So that's because of your guys' subscriptions and things that we can pay for another flight and hotel room and things down there in Vegas. If UNLV wins the tournament, will there be 7 bids? It's certainly possible. I think a 7-bid Mountain West is actually possible if UNLV wins the tournament. And I'll tell you what, UNLV's won, 9 out of 10? I mean, they're literally the one team that nobody wants to play right now when it comes to that. So, I mean, it is crazy to think about UNLV. And Boise State really should have won that game. They just didn't play great. But, I mean, UNLV got that 4-point win on the road in Boise earlier this year. You would have liked to have seen them get a better chance down in Vegas, but maybe not with the way they're playing, and they're beating everybody down there in Las Vegas. Maybe that worked out, nicely for them. I still wish, and it's probably going to happen next year, and I've kind of gone on my soapbox about it before, but I just think it makes too much sense for everybody to play everybody in the, in the conference situation. I just don't know why this unbalanced schedule. I mean, Utah State only played Nevada once, and that could determine some things. Boise State only played UNLV once. There's other teams that haven't played. I mean, when you're this close, and I get it, some people say, oh, that means you're going to lose the St. Mary's game. You're going to lose Gonzaga, San Diego State. I don't think so. You're going to lose St. Catherine if you're San Diego State. You're going to lose Carroll College or Vanguard if you're Boise State. Like, nothing against Carroll College. Love you, Ryan Lundgren. But, like, schools like that, like, they don't even count for the net. So why are you playing them? Like, it's a tune-up. You got to have that, and you got to have bye games are tough to get, and you have to have a certain number of home games. Like, I get it, but in some leagues, it's not possible. You got 14 teams. You can't play 25 conference games, whatever. I get it. But when the simple solution is just to go from 18 to 20 conference games, it seems too easy. And this year, more than any, to have the potential league champion and seeding decided by teams that didn't all play each other the same amount of times, just doesn't seem right to me. So I'm not taking anything away from Utah State. They deserve the title. They played great this year. They beat Boise State twice, so Boise State has really no room to talk there. But I just think in general, I think that the fairest way to do it is for everybody to play everybody, and it sounds like it's moving in that direction, and I really hope it does here moving forward. I mentioned Lithia Ford of Boise. I want to tell you about them real quick. 5 NIL deals they got with student athletes at Boise State, including 3 Ahmed Hassanin, Andrew Simpson, Matt Lauder on the football team. They got Brooke Patterson on the women's golf team. They got Paige Barsh from the volleyball team, obviously. And the Raines family, we purchased our F-150 from them. Couldn't be happier. We went online, found a couple we liked, did our research ahead of time, went in and test drove a couple of them, and we're on our way in a couple of hours. You can get your that full inventory of vehicle and get ready. And LithiaFordBoise.com. And again, Robbie Robinson, an avid viewer, probably watching now, bought his vehicle there. I saw him post on social media the other day, so very appreciative of him. So if you do go to Lithia Ford, make sure you let us know so we can let them know that is happening, and we appreciate you and we appreciate them. TacoBellWorks.com, SON Management, the Nicolason family, they have committed 6 figures, and we're talking mid-high 6 figures in terms of student-athlete scholarship dollars for the endowed scholarships for the men's and women's basketball team. They are helping fund the scholarships that have the basketball players you're watching on the court on the men's and women's side here in Boise. So return the favor. Go visit Taco Bell. Great new menu items rolling out almost daily, it seems like. My boys are loving the cheesy roll-ups and some of the stuff there. I know they went there before the basketball game the other day. And again, they are hiring. TacoBellWorks.com. They'll give you half your wages the very next day after your shift and also free food. So get more information, TacoBellWorks.com. The Blue and Orange Store, all kinds of Boise State gear, the blueandorangestore.com. We're talking football stuff, basketball stuff, you name it. They even got like logo golf balls, everything, shirts, hats, bumper stickers, car flags, jackets, sweatshirts, you name it. The Blue and Orange Store has it right there on the second floor of the Boise Town Square Mall or online. Again, free shipping, any order over $40 at theblueandorangestore.com. And if you're looking for some, a job that lets you get out kind of on your own and, just kind of not having to deal with people, just how about the trucking industry? TCS, Transportation Compliance Service. They can help you. All the DOT overweight permits, everything you need. Then get you out there, towing that first load as a truck driver on the open road in no time. 75% of folks that try to do it themselves end up going out of business. So check out Transportation Compliance Service, Jeff Minert and his staff, national company based right here in the Treasure Valley. We appreciate their support of Bronco Nation News. And long day today, so we'll have to have that extra cup of Bronco Brew coffee. You can order it at broncobrew.coffee. Roasted to order coffee. They don't roast it till you order it. And in many cases in the Treasure Valley, within 24 hours, that freshly roasted coffee is at your doorstep. Check them out. BroncoBrew.coffee. And again, it's a cool kind of new thing where you can donate money to an NIL athlete of your choice on the site. So every time you buy a bag, you're putting $2 or $3 right into the pocket of Markel Reed or some of the players they have on there. Kobe Young. I haven't looked recently, but I know they've added to the list daily with athletes at Boise State. So help out legally some athletes at Boise State, get some great coffee in the process. You can do that at Bronco Brew. Coffee. I mentioned the basketball game tomorrow night. We're going to talk to Leon Rice about 12:30. I know there's a lot of questions about the net. UNM needs to keep their net in the top 30. That certainly would be big. By the way, UNLV is up to 76 this morning in the net. UNLV needs to go up one spot in the net ranking, and that quad 3 loss becomes quad 2 for Boise State, which would certainly help there. I don't think you're going to have to worry about that, Don. Don says just don't want to be in the first 4. I don't think, Don, I really don't. Unless you're a New Mexico fan watching, which you might be in trouble. But if you're a Boise State fan, I don't think you're going to the first 4. I really don't. The committee is not going to penalize you for losing to San Diego State at San Diego State or losing at, to San Diego State on a neutral floor. I mean, those are quad 1 losses. And again, especially if UNLV can make a run and that gets above 75, you would have literally 0 bad losses all season. And that carries a lot of weight. You can play yourself out with a bad loss. And that's why UNLV has little to no chance to get an at-large bid. They have 3 quad 4 losses. They lost at home by 32 to Air Force. They lost to Southern. They lost to somebody else who was terrible. They've got 3 terrible losses, which are going to keep them out from having an at-large chance. And that's just the way it works. Boise State, 0 bad losses. And I cannot remember a season where, and you guys might be able to tell me, but even in the year where they won the Mountain West, like even that year, they had the loss to South Dakota State and the loss to Cal State Bakersfield. And they've lost UC Irvine. They've had some bad losses, Charlotte. And this year, Boise State, no bad losses. So I think that's a huge key. And a lot of times in college basketball, the bad losses are just as important, if not more important, than the quality wins. So I think that Boise State is fine. The New Mexico game cemented them in the field. And do you want to win tomorrow? Sure. You win tomorrow, I think you still have a chance at a 6-7 seed. You lose tomorrow, you're probably 8, 9, 10 in that range. So I think Loyola Marymount was the other team they lost to. That's a quad 4 game. They easily would be in the mix if they had just beaten those teams. And so it is crazy how good this conference is and how good these teams are in this conference. So I know it's nervous time. Like I'll be saying this on the post-game show, and I'm already preparing for it. I mean, they're 6-point dogs. They're probably not going to win tomorrow, and I think you should probably mentally be prepared for that as well. It's not the end of the world. As long as you don't lose by 30, it's really not that big of a deal. And I think that some fans will see the 2 in a row and start to be freaking out, and I get it. I understand it, but I just think that this is Boise State's done enough. I think Boise State is going to be fine. They are going to be in the NCAA tournament. And would you like to win at least one more game at some point this season? Win one more game especially before you get to the Mountain West. I mean, in the Mountain West tournament, like before the big dance. Yes. Would that relieve the concerns, whatever, just to win another game and not be going in on a 3-game losing streak to March Madness? Yes, obviously. But I think the body of work has been done, and I think Boise State's going to be just fine going to the tournament. If you missed the beginning of the show, we now have 475 of you watching the show right now. I think this is a record for a morning show. So the viewership has continued to rise here the last couple of days. I don't know if we're showing up higher in Twitter algorithms or not. Maybe paying that $8 a month for the blue check mark is paying off here. But 476 of you watching this right now. We really appreciate you. If you came in late, Rains at BroncoNationNews.com. Time is running out, but you can RSVP for the pool party next Friday. This is just going to be a bunch of Boise State fans, basketball fans, hanging out, watching games all day, interacting with Prater, Johnny, myself. It's going to be a lot of fun. They're going to be doing their show live. We're going to be doing our show. We're going to have some, special things where we get some fans on. We're going to have raffle. We're going to have all kinds of stuff going on. It's going to be a lot of cool. I'm really looking forward to this. It's going to be awesome. Stadium swim, BNN, KTIK pool party. And if you RSVP in advance, not only do you get to skip the $40 cover charge, you get a free drink ticket as well. So a free drink, free entry. BNN's hooking you up thanks to Circa Las Vegas Stadium Swim. So email me, Rains at Bronco Nation News, if you want in. May 31st also is the BNN Golf Tournament. If you played last year or if you're interested in sponsoring a hole, reach out to me and we'll get you your foursome spot for this year. We're going to put the general admission tickets on sale here in a couple weeks after basketball season, but go ahead and get your foursome together, save the date, and be ready to purchase the day we put them on sale because it's going to sell out this year. We had 30 foursomes the first year, upped it to 50 last year. We're going for 64 foursomes, 32 in the morning, tees off at 8:30, 32 in the afternoon, tees off at 1:30 p.m. So save the date, get your buddies together, and we'll let you know when we're putting those on sale, and they're going to go fast. But as I said, if you're interested in a whole sponsorship or sponsoring the tournament, that can help you move to the front of the line to get a foursome. So that's one way to reserve it. And if you played last year or the year before, we'd love to have you as well. You can email me, Rains at BroncoNationNews.com, and we'll take care of you. I mentioned football today, 11 a.m. Dirk Cutter makes his return to the microphone. We will speak with both coordinators, Dirk Cutter on the offensive side, Eric Chenander on the defensive side, and, of course, head coach Spencer Danielson. We will stream those. Everything should be fine, but you never know with technology and stuff. We haven't done a live stream down there in a couple of months, but our expectation, hope, goal is that you can jump on at 11 a.m. Probably about 10:55 we'll start the stream on YouTube, Facebook, and Twitter for a live stream of the press conferences today. I'm sure I'll forget to have something go wrong. I'll have it muted or something of the wrong input on the microphone. Well, it never goes perfect, so bear with us, but we'll do our best to stream the press conference today, and should be interesting. I want to hear how Malachi Nelson's been fitting in. Obviously want to hear Dirk Cutter and his decision to come back and how all that played out. The defense, Eric Chenander, how's he feeling now taking over as the D coordinator? What changes are we going to see there? With Spencer and Dirk Cutter, I mentioned Malachi Nelson, Chris Marshall at wide receiver. How's he fitting in? Is he taking advantage of this chance? A lot of questions, what guys are going to be limited, injured, out. We always get kind of the injury report, before spring practice starts. So I believe the first practice on Monday is mostly going to be open in its entirety to the media. So looking forward to that. And then they're closing the next 2 practices while everyone's in Vegas for the basketball tournament. So I think we're going to get some pretty good media access this year. Spencer Danielson, we met with Spencer, a couple of us in the media about 2 weeks ago, and talked about some things we'd like to see, what he'd like to see. And I think we got a pretty good common ground on some media policies. And so I'm excited very excited about what we're going to be able to do coverage wise for the football team here moving forward. So appreciate you guys. Alexandra, you can she says she wants the blue check mark. You can pay $8 a month and get it. I didn't get it because I wanted the blue check mark. I got it because you can post videos longer than 2 minutes and 20 seconds. You can post tweets longer than 240 characters. And you can edit your tweets. I can't tell you how many times I have to delete a tweet because I had a typo, and then people had already retweeted it and replied, and it's a whole thing. So I don't even really care about the blue check mark. I just like to have the ability to edit the tweet if you have a typo, and then the videos and the tweets can be longer than the other regular tweets, and that's why we enjoy it. But now we're up to almost 500 people watching the show right now, so we appreciate all of you. Alexander's asking about the softball game. Are we going to reschedule that since it's been canceled? We'll see. I'd like to. For those of you that today was supposed to be the day. Today was supposed to be the day that we'd be broadcasting our first ever BNN live game for the softball game, and it was disappointing that did get canceled. Multiple reasons, but mostly the weather just didn't cooperate. The weather was the sole reason. Kennesaw State didn't want to come. But I was excited for multiple reasons because we had put a lot of time and effort in. Mike Walsh and Dominic Sheldon and Tyler and everybody over at Boise State put in a ton of work too, making graphics and having production meetings earlier this week, and we were ready to go. My first play-by-play of a BSU sporting event. I was super excited. It was going to be a lot of fun. We had some cool things planned with Jay Tust and John Mallory and Justin Schultz. And so, yeah, didn't work out. Weather won't cooperate. The timing just doesn't allow us to really reschedule it at this point. We'll see what happens moving forward. They weren't as interested in doing it during a conference game because Coach Schultz wasn't quite as interested in being as open with the communication and the interviews and stuff during a conference game. So we'll see what we can do, but it may have to get pushed till next season now. But we'll look at maybe doing soccer this fall, volleyball. We'll see if we can find some other ways to get involved with some of the live events. And you never know with some of the other stuff out going on as well, what could happen. So we're excited, but it was we got the contract signed. We purchased the rights, the first kind of step in that direction, and got that big first hurdle out of the way, even though we didn't get a chance to actually broadcast the game. So excited for what's to come. And we'll see moving forward. Let's see. Excited about BNN potentially doing live games, softball, other sports, soccer, volleyball. Hopefully it still happens in the future. Yes, that is the goal. The goal is to continue to – my goal for 5 years from now is to be on – you go to YouTube TV and have BNN. Maybe it's 10, 15 years. Who knows how long it would take. But like Reno Sportsnet, like that's similar to what I do. They just have their own TV channel like on the local cable. Like I would love to get to that point where BNN is an actual TV channel and an actual network. It has shows all day and podcasts all day and way more. I want to keep building this thing as big as we possibly can. Can't do it without your support, though. BNN 50 deals, that promo code. Please sign up, subscribe if you can. BNN 50 deal, $50 for a full year. Helps us pay for the trip to San Diego tomorrow, the week in Vegas for the tournament, the NCAA tournament, buying flights on 2 days' notice next week to go to Brooklyn or wherever they're going to send Boise State. So if you can, please support us. BNN 50 deals, that coupon code gives you $20 off, and that does allow us to do things like purchase rights for these sporting events and all the things that we're trying to do here. So appreciate you guys. Going to jump off and get down there. Chris Acker, the assistant coach at San Diego State, used to be at Boise State. I'm scheduled to interview him here very shortly. We'll play that on tomorrow's show. And then again, full pregame coverage at 7 p.m. Mountain Time of the game tomorrow night. And super excited for that. But first, 11 a.m. we'll be live. Dirk Cutter, Spencer Danielson. We'll turn our attention to football. 11 a.m. come back to the BNN social media streams, and we'll have your live coverage of the press conference previewing spring practice. Leon Rice talks at 12:30. We'll record that. That won't be live. We'll get that up on YouTube this afternoon. And then again, 9 a.m. Jay Tust and I tomorrow. And then we'll board the private jet, start the BNN VIP basketball experience, and we'll have full coverage of that throughout the day in San Diego, culminating with the 7 p.m. Mountain Time pregame show. the game at 8 Mountain Time, and then a full pregame show full postgame show about 10 p.m. afterwards, after the game there as well. So appreciate you guys. Thank you so much for your support of BNN. Help us out. Tell your friends. Subscribe if you can. Like this video if you're on YouTube or Twitter. Retweet it. Whatever you can to help share it and get it out there to more people. We would sincerely appreciate that. 505 of you watching right now. It's pretty incredible. This has been a pretty cool last couple days to see the interest continue to rise as we approach March Madness here. And so I think a lot of people are excited about football starting. A lot of people excited about basketball season and the tournament coming up. And we believe we are the best spot for you to get the most comprehensive coverage of both at Bronco Nation News. So appreciate you guys. Have a great rest of your day. We'll talk to you here in about an hour and 18 minutes from the Blameyer Center with the football press conference, and then 9 a.m. tomorrow with Jay Tuss. So talk to you guys soon. Thanks so much. Go subscribe if you can. We'll talk to you later. Bronco Nation News Live, BroncoNationNews.com.